Yes, hello guys, welcome to the stream. Yeah, today we want to create something like this. Bit challenging, but we'll see. Haven't decided whether to use EV or cycles for this one. Trying to make this kind of massive horizon landscapes. Definitely not going to be easy. I think these are roads. Definitely can't use actual grass because that would just be harder to render. We have to find different ways to fake this vegetation. Anyway, but the one thing this is, we have a foreground and then the background is nearly the same as the middle ground. Actually, there's a new trick I found in because we're going to be creating some grass. Let me see if we have a surface like this. Maybe can add a few subdivisions. Let's say this is our foreground. Let's say anime landscape. Hey, our animation wall, how are you? Okay. I think we can use Eevee for this. And for the sky, let's use the Pritham sky. Get my camera and just first darken the areas. Yeah, before we do this, let me take out these promotions. So this is Materioric, which is an amazing library of materials. Comes with a ton of materials that you can use for your assets. Let me just play for you how the materials look. They really look super realistic, and the great thing is that they work for cycles and EV, so you can use them in different. Just look at how detailed that wood is. I think this is a mix of scanned textures and procedure textures. Just amazing. Just look at how. And I think they also have some good masks that come with the library. So again, this is Materioric. You can read more about it if you want to get it. Links are going to be provided in the chat, in the description. Amazing interface. Then there is this epic preset cloth library. This is a library of clothes for your characters. You can see he's just showing you how you can use the library to dress up the character quite easily, give them a mask. Works amazingly with the Blender library. All sorts of clothes that you might want. Yeah, so this is Epic Cloth Library preset. Clothing pack comes with a ton of cloth elements for your characters. I just finished your earlier live. Thanks a lot for the content. No problem, man. Thank you, Liora. Thank you. And glad you found it useful. Then finally we have Gardener, which is a library of grass elements. And you can see how amazing, how detailed the grass looks. And this is him showing it how it works in Blender. So yeah, very detailed trees, vegetation. Just look at that detail. Works with Eevee. Can customize the color. Very detailed stuff. Yeah, you can switch it up just easily like that. So links are in the description. Let's continue here. Experimenting. So yeah, there are a few tricks I want to try out here. Let's first go in here. Because we're going to use Eevee, let me create a grass blade. So this is going to be our grass blade. I want to make sure that I'm not using a lot of polygons. So let me scale that there. Grab this up. Let me give this. Okay, let me use my text folder to set up a quick material here. I'll use a translucent only. We're not going to use any image for this, so let me remove that. I can use a green and okay, so that's our grass blade. Now we want to populate it here. So the trick I wanted to show off is if you have a hair system like this, and let's turn on advanced. The velocity, the length we can keep at 0. We can get the height from the Z so that everything is pointing directly up. Hey, good evening, Kapil. How are you? How's your evening? What do you usually do in the evening? Okay, so let's get our object, which is the grass blade. This, set the height 1. So this is what we have. I want to use, say, 200 particles and just bring up the children. Maybe increase the radius. We need something like 500. Okay, so let's say we want to create the same path we have here. Yeah, so if you have, I'm great, thanks, just finishing some design work on an AI. I'm guessing that's Illustrate AI. Oh, usually chilling, watching YouTube. Nice. What is AI? Like the artificial intelligence? Is that what you mean? Okay, so if you have a curve like this, and you give it some depth like that, just have it here. You can use it to determine, to influence where the grass is. Say you can have set up a vertex group. I'll call this path. And you can go in here and give this a proximity vertex weight, just select the curve, and I'm going to hide. Actually, let me just give this a wireframe display, the path a wireframe display. So if we go to weight paint, we need to first actually give this a weight paint of 1, so that everything is white, is red, like that. Now we can go to this, select the path vertex paint, and make sure we set this to geometry. And now you can see we have a path, and you can even subdivide this so it should update in the weight paint like that. And now what we can do is in the vertex, in the particle system, in hair system, Illustrator. Oh, Adobe Illustrator. It's been a while since I last used Adobe Illustrator, so I was getting confused what you mean by AI. Because a lot of AI generators have been popping up everywhere, so it got me confused. I was kind of thrown off a bit. So after you make that, you can just go under the vertex group and select path. Let me turn off the overlays here so that you can see. So let's say, no, actually, let me use the length for this. Go back to object. Now it's not working because it's under the particle system. It has to be above the particle system. Now you can see how it's influencing, how we can use, where is my path? Oh, yeah. You can now, let me first increase, I can reduce, just determine how this is affecting everything. You can even play with the fall off a bit. Can say stepped. That is just going to give you a more let me create a ground material here. Ground or grass. Let's use ground. Create PBR. And just going to come here and make a video where you tell us about the add-ons that you use. I think I do that every day. Every time I stream, I basically show off the add-ons I'm using. Basically, I use mostly the texture folder, the asset library, and some of my add-ons myself that I made myself. Hello, Bobby. How are you? Glad to see you. Here's my grass blade. Oh, I think we're going to use cycles. And for this, we don't want to see this. You don't want it to be renderable. So let's see, shouldn't cast any shadows. Basically, just switch all of that off. So currently, I was using a mesh for hourglass, but that becomes very heavy on the CPU. So what I'm going to do is switch this to a regular hair particle since we're going to be using cycles anyways. So let's remove this, go back to path, like that. Like that. That we need two materials. Let me move the camera up a bit. Maybe let's make this more thin, so that it's not as influential. We can come back to here, come here and just reduce. I change this to linear. Now I'm going to go back to the particle system and just make a few changes to the hair shape. I do a 0.1, maybe 0.2. Let's use a sky texture, the Pritham, no, the Nishita. Something like that. We definitely need more particles. Now I'm also going to, under the, is it under children? I'm going to add some roughness, just a bit of roughness. Maybe 0.0. Or something like that. And I'm going to use maybe constant or stepped, just so we have a more clear path. And you can even draw more path. I'm going to draw on the surface, can draw this path here, and I can see it just gives us, it's a nice way to handle this. Please make like a cartoon classroom. I've done a few classrooms. I have never seen vertex weight. Can you explain? Vertex weight is basically a way to determine where you want the particles. Let me show you. Let me show you again. So let's say, let's say this is our mesh. You need subdivisions because the particle weight or the vertex weight works depending on the position of the vertices. So let's say this is your mesh and you have a hair system like this. You can use vertex groups if you go to weight paint to determine where you want the particles. You just paint where you want the particles to be. So in the red spots, we're going to have more particles than in the yellow, green, and then finally in the blue, we shouldn't have any particles. But after you make the vertex group under draw, you also need to go to the particle system and make sure that in the vertex group, you tell Blender what group that to use the vertex group you have just created. So now you can see if we go back to weight paint, the particles are only appearing where we draw or we have painted. And you're not only limited to density, you can also use this for the height. So the height of the particles changes depending on where the vertex paint you have done. So basically that's a quick introduction, and it's basically what we are doing here, but instead of drawing, we are using a curve object like this. So if I go to edit mode, I can easily change the path like that. I don't want this too much clutter here and here. Okay. No problem. Okay. Now, another thing we could do is since, yeah, I wish there was a way to pay. No, let's just create a path for us. Let me grab this and unwrap. Yes, you have more control if it's here, if it's like this, so I can easily move this around, and the path will update. Since it's updating the weight paint, this also updates. Now let me also create. Let's see. Hello, Burning Bright. Hello, Vinit. It's not morning here, but yeah. Is it morning your side? Okay. Now we don't want the vertex to be that tall. Sorry, the grass to be that tall. The issue when we reduce the height, then we get more gaps in the grass. So I have to compensate by either increasing the particle count or just increasing the particle diameter or the grass diameter, which creates a few issues. I see 0.1, something like that. Now, I think we can add some noise. So if I grab a noise texture, a color mix RGB, just blend this. Just scale this a bit so we can bring in some variation in the grass. Just a bit like that. Whenever you come from us, haven't seen you on Discord recently. Yeah, I guess I haven't really checked it out in a while. Get caught out in other stuff. I forget. But I'll try to jump back in when I get some time. Or after the stream. Remind me to check it out, to check Discord after the stream. Might forget. Let's also add some Brownian motion. It usually adds a bit of noise in the grass, so that is a little bit more random. And that is under physics. At level 1, you see it becomes way too wavy. But 0.1, 0.2, yeah, we get some, maybe not too much, something like this. 0.1. let me come back to this and just okay. Now, to make these details, we have to find a way to fake these details without doing too much. So let's first add a grass material to this, to the background. I'm just using my texture folder to set that up for me, so I'm just going to use that. Yeah, still seeing a lot of let me bring this. I think I need to play with the fall off. Point. I think the issue I'm having is because I'm using children and I have my radius quite up. It's really difficult for me to determine exactly where I want the particles to be. So let's reduce the radius a bit. But then that means that we are going to need way more particles to have this look correctly. How old am I? I think I'm 30 now. I'm quite old. Yeah, I'm making 30, or I'm already 30. Have to go back and adjust. I don't like reminding myself how old I am, because kind of surprises me how old I am. And it's not something I never really expected to grow old. I always thought. But hey. Anyway, okay, we don't really have a lot of progress. Where are you from? I'm from Uganda. That's in East Africa. You're young. I'm 34. You're young too. Nice. But we have some people here are 18, 17. So yeah. I want to fake like I don't know, a horizon. How will you make the distant difference color fields? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of as I'm working here. So let's see how we can approach this. We still have to figure out how we need more grass for this, but let's first try and make the background. I think we need to find ways to fake some of these plantations. So let's try a box here. We can, I'm just going to raise it up a bit. Yeah, 23 feels like a 32. 23 is very, very young. Let's see if we can fake these patches. So we can add a noise texture and Musgrave. Is it? No, Voronoi with a different pattern, a Manhattan pattern, just so we can fake some details in the distance. I think the foreground is too round. Oh, my foreground is too round? Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. So we might want to add in some variations, maybe. So I want to see if I can fake these patches here. So let's see. If we blend these patterns, just to get some detail in those patches. I have an RTX 3060. Is it good for rendering? Well, it would be better than what I have because mine is at 1650. So yours is definitely going to be better than mine in rendering. So come in India and teach Blender. That would be amazing. And how much do you think I would be making there? Maybe I can get my passport and fly tomorrow if I anyway. Wait, let me see. Just trying to create some detail in the distant. I think I need to scale this grass up, reduce the this. Okay. See if this patch will give us some nice detail. And we can do a color ramp and object info. This is really a challenging one, but we'll see what we can do. So we're going to use constant. In the time that you have made 10 projects, I've probably only started one. Stop procrastinating. Jump into Blender and do something. I think the way I've managed to keep myself creating is just jumping in without thinking too much about it. Sometimes I start a stream like this without knowing if I'm even going to be able to make the object or not. When I'm not sure if I'll make the object or not. So I don't know. That's if you overthink too much, you won't be able to do stuff, I think. But yeah. Anyway. Once. Okay. I will make my PC exploding in Blender, so when I render, it can be at imitating life. Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. Just predict the future, predict what might happen, and maybe it won't happen. Sometimes when you try to do something, not even losing my train of thought. Okay, so each of these should have a boundary of I don't know what that is. I think that's what is making these patches. Yeah, I think I'm going to create a new vertex group. Vertex group. So this is going to be the boundary of these patches, and I think they have to be smaller than this. We really have to find different ways to fake these because there's no way we can make them in a realistic way. Let me create a new material here. Let's make it a bit darker, and we can hope that in the distance it doesn't look too terrible. Let me use it here. Use a wave texture as a factor for those colors. You think it would work? A wave? Maybe we can add in a wave. Let me see how this. Let me first make sure that the idea I have in my head works, and we can try yours and see. Let me see value. Make this a bit darker. I see. And yeah, I wanted to give this a displacement modifier, clouds, but only for the group we created. Just reduce the strength, shade smooth, and hopefully in the distance that doesn't look too bad. Let's see. I think, let's see. That we might want to add a shrink wrap to this. I just offset it a bit. How do you add so much grass without lag? When I try with grass method, it's start lagging. So how do you add grass to landscapes? So the trick is I just try to add the high detail. You can see this is the only area where I have grass. So I just try to make sure that I don't have a lot of grass in areas where it's not necessary. I think these are too close. They have to be really far. I think this is also going to need to be and I think this has to be, just don't use too much grass. Find ways to make it seem like you have a lot of grass when you don't. Like what we're trying to do here. I need to create more patches. I think the shrink wrap should work on the project. No, I think I'm just going to have this. I think this is going to be one of the hardest projects I've ever attempted. Most of the effect is being run by the high value of the sky. Yeah, I think you are right about that. And we also need other stuff to emphasize the scale. So let me change the sky so that it's not directly above or directly in front of us. Let's see, 0.05. Oh, another thing we could do, this grass here, we need it to work for us instead of working against us. So to do that, we are going to need to blend it with, and first make sure to remove some of the unnecessary stuff that I'm having here. We're going to blend it with that noise texture. Actually, we can just grab whatever we have here. This pattern, I still like this pattern we created. Just going to copy that, paste it in here, and blend it. Now we need some trees for scale, so let me add a plane. I'll go to my asset library, search for tree. good challenge, bro. It's good to push yourself beyond your control. Yeah, this one is one of the extreme ones that kind of looked much easier in the beginning, but I'm thinking it's getting more difficult as we go. Anyway, but we'll see. We'll see how we manage. Add a shrink wrap. Okay. Here you can 50. A same method is good or geometry node for grass. So geometry nodes slows down quite a lot. So if you want to make your interface much faster, geometry nodes I don't think is the best option for you. That's why you see I'm not using it here. Unless there are some optimization tricks that you guys know about. Yeah, it's kind of heavy. We want to have some trees. Okay, now I'm going to use these trees to help emphasize the scale of things. And let me bring in some Brownian motion like that. And source, we can use random. Let's see how this. You see, if we start adding in trees, it should help out a bit. Yes. Render show emitter. Okay, you can see that now we are getting somewhere as long as we have some trees. For the ones in the foreground, I'm going to make them a bit taller. Yeah, so now we can come back to this, try to create more patches. I think these shouldn't cast any shadows if you want them to show up correctly. Rave, no shadow, no shadow, no shadow. Let me get some fog. The reason why your patches are not showing correctly because the height is too low. Let's see. Or maybe, let me see. Thinking maybe it could be because they are too large for the distance. Because they are supposed to emphasize scale. Yeah, I think now they are starting to look much better. With the help of trees, We also need the rod or whatever this is. Okay, yeah, I wanted to introduce some cloud shadows. So if I have this over, add some multiply, rod should be at a roughness of 0.9, don't you think? I'm going to try that and see. Rod, how do we approach the rod? So if we have a rod, let me see. What is the best way to create a rod? Or a simple rod like this? I think I'm just going to extrude the rod directly. Just make things much simple like that. Add a subdivision surface and then a shrink wrap on top of this so that the rod is always above everything. And also make sure that in the shader, in the shading, it doesn't cast any shadows so that we don't have it floating anywhere. So for the material, yeah, I think let's just go with that and let's try a 0.9 roughness as you said. Maybe give it some color like that. Extrude another rod. Maybe this one is a much wider one. Okay. So we're just doing a fake it till you make it. We're going for fake it till you make it root. See how things go. Okay. I think I want a thicker forest here. Thicker line of trees. Should have some shapes that follow the road. Yeah, I think this is doable. It's starting to show promise. Start to promise. Yes, it's promising now. some larger areas. I think a neat foreground will also help. So let's see how to fix the foreground. Because if we have detail in the foreground, it's going to make the lack of detail in the background less visible. So I'm going to do, let's improve our particle system. I think I can increase in the children, I need to increase the radius just a tiny bit, and then increase the particle count. There also Okay, so there are several ways we can approach the road or the foreground. So instead of wasting all these particles, this hair, in areas that the camera is not seeing, I'm actually going to move the hair system. I was adding this to demonstrate how this would work. Instead of using wet paint, why don't we paint the grass, and that will be defined. Yeah, if we try painting the grass with white paint and to make it defined, we're going to need way more particles, and we're going to need a lot of subdivisions on this mesh to get a defined white paint. Let me show you. Say we wanted to paint, let me come back to this as assign a weight of 0. So if I try to paint this, you can see it's not going to be as defined still. So instead of you adding the particles directly to this mesh, I'm just going to add them to a plane like this. Just do the old trick that we have been doing. So I'm going to remove these particles from this, and you can see now if I add a shrink wrap to this mesh, shrink wrap, make sure it's above the particle system. Yeah, we can basically define the path much easier with this. So I can have this here and I duplicate one here. So we just having the particles only in the areas where they are needed. Can even just have this bent a bit and duplicate this. I think that gives us a more defined path with more control over how the path looks. So without doing too much work. See, much more defined path. I just need to make sure that I still have the materials. Control L, link materials. So yeah, that gives us a more clearly defined path than what we would achieve with the particle system. And with that, our road still needs some good detail. Let's see. Let me look at the texture. Let me go to my texture folder and search for ground, a different ground, maybe this. Yeah, I can also just remove these. Is there a way to add more saturation to the far distance? There should be. Let me see. More saturation to the far distance. I guess it would be to just make this shader more saturated. So let me add a hue and saturation. Just bump up the saturation. Or maybe just use more saturated textures. You know, let's try something new. Let's get rid of all this so we can try a new shader. If we try to get the exact shader as this, we can go with a texture. If we start with a gradient texture, that comes from the back. Actually, I think, let me go at the top here and see. If we use a spherical texture or spherical gradient, let me just scale it. Let me use a multiply. I'm just trying to create the same look that we have here. Just fake the detail instead of using geometry. Well, cool job. Thank you. Okay, let's sample some of the colors we have here. So in the far distance, we have that really bright green. And then in the close distance, we have a more darker green, which for some reason I'm not seeing. Yes, so something like that. Sorry, guys, I have to cook some food. Good luck with the project. And take care. Good luck with the food as well. How many guys here can cook? I'm not very good at that at all. Let's create another texture. Nice texture here. For what game make this? We're not really making any game. We're just experimenting, playing around basically. Okay, I think we can achieve more detail by just adding layers and layers of different the issue is immediately when you give it to the shader, you start to lose some of that detail. I was stay for a while, a few years ago. Nice. So you're like a legit professional cooker. Is that even a word? I don't know. I guess the word for a cooker is a chef, a professional cook. Nice, nice. Did you work for some fancy restaurant, or was it your own restaurant? Okay, want to add some more detail. Don't want to have any of these intersecting with the road. Create more patches. I think we need to deal with the roughness, or we can introduce some bump into this. See if that gets us anywhere. It was an Italian restaurant in a hotel located in Chelsea. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, we need to increase the roughness. So, are you still? So you left the chef job to do Blender or to do graphics? That's we'll have our roads, no intersection. Yeah, definitely. We don't want any intersections in our roads. See you next time, Bobby, Alex. I really need someone to teach me how to cook. I'm not very good, and not very good at all. Hope one day you give me some cooking lessons in exchange for some Blender knowledge or whatever. Anyway, let's add more roughness on this. Teach me Blender, I teach you cooking. Yeah, that would be an amazing deal. And maybe you can start a live stream teaching how to cook, and I will also have a YouTube opened up, watching you on my second screen, live streaming, doing Blender while watching you doing the cooking stream, like an actual butter thread of knowledge. Okay, we need more stuff in the foreground, I think. But I'm starting to like the... Yeah, see you, man. See you. Glad you joined us for the moment you are here. Yeah, we don't want... And I think I want to increase the saturation. Yeah, something like that. Let's add more patches. Yeah, definitely the saturation helps. I was just having trouble to get it to work, but now I think it's looking better. These trees are also helping. So if we add them in different areas, you can see they do help a bit in kind of creating some separation or some level scale. We need to bring in more and maybe we can also set up some cloud shadows. Hey, let me get a cloud object. Cloud, like this. I'm going to use this as the background. It seems our sky is still a bit too bright. Let me, look at that. I think that's good. Looks good. It's at a very low light like that. If you mix Voronoi dots with darker color in green back plane, it would look the illusion of vegetable, but not too much, but too much work, without too much work. In the green, on what? On the on this surface or on what? I think yeah, we do need some extra detail in the dark in the back there. I really need that blue look. Let me see if I let me make sure that this actually casts some shadows. Duplicate this so we can have some shadows. This should be a shader diffuse. Doesn't have to be seen by the camera, but definitely needs to cast some shadows. Yeah, I think the camera should see more of the sky. And what I'm going to do is just let me first hide this for a second. Hide this, grab all the things we have here, all of this detail, move it into a collection. Let's call this one. Let me unhide. Now we can instance that collection in the back. And it won't look repeated since we can scale it, rotate it, mirror it, do whatever we want. And can see now we are seeing some actual detail in the distance. Just going to have just different patches. Yeah, we're lacking some detail here, so I'm just going to if you use gradient weight from the camera towards the background and use that to affect height, it will show a better scale. I don't think I understand what you mean. Like, what do you mean? If you use gradient height from the camera towards... Oh, for the particles, for the hair particles? I see what you mean. But we don't have one single hair system to just draw a gradient on. So that's an issue. I think because we have instances now, we can even afford to just extend our terrain as far as we want. Let me grab the camera, just make sure that it can see that far. Let's use 1000 for the clipping. Can adjust some of these. Join the planes, but still that if I join the planes, then I lose control of how to that I really want to maintain, of just dragging things around. Because it's really helping out a lot in populating. Okay, so I think we are hitting a limitation now. Okay, let's see. Can even scale out the these patches in the background. Let me first remove this cloud and see. Also just going to copy this road. Where is my road? Oh. Just maybe, I don't know, rotate it. We need to maintain, make sure the road is visible. Okay, I think now the foreground is starting to betray us. We don't really have as much details as I would want for the foreground. But I'm okay with the detail I have in the background. Also around here we don't have enough detail. Okay. Some areas I want to have thick forests. Like that. So anyway, I don't have a lot of vegetation. I'm just going to add some sort of forest. Like that. And I think somewhere like that. Please put your car on the pathway. My car, but this is like a small path. It doesn't really fit a car on. I don't think so. Let me see. Can we use these patches, one of these patches in the foreground? Let me see. Because we're using it in the background. But what about in the foreground? Yeah, it doesn't really work in the foreground. We can add some volumetric. Yeah, this is a really narrow road. Let's try some volume. Can you make the sky really vibrant, blue like in the reference? Yeah, I think we can do that. Let me first give this some volumetric. Let me see, visibility. Want it to be wireframe, and we want a shadow principal volume. Principal volume. I don't mind that, but it's just too much. Be too much still. So to make the sky more vibrant, I think we need to go to the world settings and just increase the saturation. Add a hue and saturation here and just bring that up. And let's get some tree for the foreground, trees, light trees I think I'm going to go to the use botanical here to get some foreground trees, because we need these to emphasize that this is a foreground, because we don't really have anything to show that right now, and we need something. I think if we're making that, our grass we might want to make our grass a little bit shorter. And I want this tree to be lit. I think we have managed to get that realistic look. We didn't get the anime look, but we managed to get the realistic effect. We add some grass, more grass in the foreground here. Looks awesome, thank you. Maybe let's also try to mimic the same aspect ratio, that wide aspect ratio. Narrow the road a bit. Do you use Substance 3D Painter? Yes. But mostly when I'm making game assets that need to use PBR. But other than that, yeah, I just stick Blender. How many paid add-ons do you use? I mostly use Botanical and Transportation add-on. I use a few. But in my live streams, I mostly use my own add-ons that I created myself. Okay, this scale of this tree is a bit off. I need... By the way, I made some flowers. Yeah, the tree is too much tall, not matching the rest. That's true. I was making some flowers. So I guess I can add them to the library. Let me add them to my add. I'm going to be adding these to my quick trees add-on. Yeah, making more assets for that. Let me show you how that the flowers, they're like roses. Yeah, so let me just add them. Flowers, rose, tree, plant. Okay, let me add this to call this. Doesn't matter. Just add it. Okay. Now let me just find them here. Pause. And I guess I'm going to just borrow this tree, this this tree, and let me make sure that it's in the scene collection. Yeah, this tree instancer, and just switch it for the roses. Switch the trees for the roses, and we should be good. The rotation is a bit off. Flower looks very realistic. Thank you. Will you do asset making stream? Asset making stream, they are not really popular. I've tried that a lot. People just tune out very quickly. It seems people like watching scenes, fully scenes like this. Yeah, I need to get the right rotation. Okay, why can't I find the right rotation for this? I made a very big mistake. Before I can change this to, it still needs to be a tree. Just make sure that this is a different particle system that uses the flower. Let me just make sure that you get the right rotation. I mean, try to randomize. Let me have this in my backup collection. Make anime women and more views. I mean, with some package, like we make some parts. Yeah, that's one way to get views. But I'm not very good at character modeling, so that's bummer. Alright, let's turn on. Can I randomize the rotation a bit? Reduce the flowers a bit. Yeah, we want them on the side of the road and on this side here. Let's see now. I think we might want to scale them up a bit. I'm going to get rid of this tree. Let me use my quick trees. Quick trees add-on. Get some tree, I don't know, maybe a simple tree like, I don't know, this. Make movie scenes. Movie scenes are doable, maybe. Yes. I think I need to make my path more bigger. Yeah, now with these 3 trees we can start to see something. Have you done explosions in your art? No. My yeah, that's not something my PC could handle. It's probably laughing at you right now as well. It's probably laughing. Like, that's not gonna happen. Let's get some, let me see, what else can we add in to this? Maybe we shouldn't cut off too much. Let's get a sign. I think this tree might want it to be a bit taller. Oh yeah, I will. Thank you for reminding me. I actually had forgotten. We could add some houses. Some houses around here. It's like a small town. Maybe let's add an electric pole. Yeah, I think. Yeah, though we don't really have the same anime look as this, I think this can also pass as an anime look. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, I like the houses, the few houses that are there. This is not bad. Probably want to remove the sky disk. Let's go to world editor. If we remove the sun disk, we get that. Bring it back, we have that, which is also not too bad. Our roads are no longer showing, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the results we have managed to get today. Yeah, let's check Discord and yeah, let's check Discord and see what we can do next. Add a signature cut. Okay, Discord, if you want to join us Discord, just go to !Discord. And you should get the Discord link. It's fabulous, way better than it was anticipated. Yeah, I think I'm proud of the results. I didn't expect us to get there, but at some point I wanted even to give up. Wow, this... Did you make this, man? This is... made a post-apocalyptic fighter truck in Blender. Man, this is nice. Especially the texturing and the lighting really makes it look crazy, man. Can you show it in full screen? The stream will probably crash if I try to do that, because it will try to recalculate all the samples at once. I'm going to render it out, and I will post it on my social, on my Instagram. That is socials. Let me give you my Instagram link. I'll be posting it there. This is really good. Really looks amazing. So did you model everything? The tires. Nah, yeah. Your texturing is really good. Make a vehicle. A vehicle. You can't really make a vehicle in 2 hours or 1 hour. The length of the stream, it would just take too long. Oh, you made everything? Nice, nice. Really, really looks good. Zam. Nice model. Lex 99. Right. The road really looks great, but doesn't match the clean, super clean neighborhood. But yeah, this is quite detailed. I would want to know how he did the sky. Is this an image, or because it kind of looks like it matches the direction of the light. The clouds match the direction of the light, so it makes me think maybe he's using an HDRI image. Yeah, probably. Nice. This is really detailed. Can you, Burning Bread, can you try rendering this out, and we can see how it looks rendered out in with full textures and full colors. see. UMG, okay. Oh, is this here? So I'm saying it looks really good. Yeah, you're really good at texturing. Like, and detailing stuff. You're very good at that. Nice. Dishonored 2. There's some amazing detail. What about this? Huh. Is this 3D scanned or? Are these height maps? Wow. Essential terrain pack. Nice. I'm seeing some of these are questions. I think I'll get back to this. So if you want to check out the final render image, I'm going to be posting that on my Instagram. Let me make sure it's not showing stuff. Discord, just use exclamation mark Discord. Exclamation mark Discord. Yeah, so these are some of the renders we made in the previous live stream. Yeah, so this is the monster thing. I could have textured the boat a little bit better and maybe added more trees on this hill. What else? This here is desert. Yeah, by the way, you can leave comments and critique on things that we can improve in the next live stream. Yeah, this I think came out nicely. We could add more vegetation here. Yeah, this is just a detail thing, but I'm proud of this one as well. This one is okay as well. Yeah, what else do you think we can add to this to make it our own? Let me see, can we add, let me see, a bridge. No, there's nothing here that needs a bridge. We can do a sign, like a sign. So a wooden sign. Let me first pause the render and you know what, the wooden sign, let me come here, let me go to my texture folder, wood. Let's use something like this. No, not that. Or let's try this. Yeah, just reduce the let's just reduce okay. So it's compiling, I think shaders, so it's going to hang for a few seconds. Let's look at more reference images that I was looking at as the shaders compile. Let's see what we can. Okay, this one is, I think, doable. A lot of vegetation. trying to find stuff we can add in, or maybe some wires, actual wires. Okay, so the sign should say, let me first reduce on the, okay, we can say something like, let's say subscribe. Text, I'll rotate this on the X. Subscribe. And we want it to look more sticky, like a stick. So I'm going to reduce. Actually, I think to make this even look better, I'm just going to grab this, give it a solidify modifier for the thickness, and also turn pencil drawn concept to render. Oh, you can suggest, if you have any pencil drawings, you can send me some, and I'll have a look at them, see if they are doable in the time frame of our streams. Okay, let's create, this is going to be a nail, so it can just be dark reflective metallic thing. So let me just, that's going to be, okay, just join this to this, and Control N or Shift N. Okay. Maybe I can even add a bevel to this. I'll change this to 45. Boolean subscribe text wood. How that look? Let me see. Maybe that would give us even, that would be even better, because I was going to write this directly with this wood, but maybe your idea is better. Let me convert this. Let me first give this convert this to, let me just first increase the poly count. No, convert this to a mesh. Convert to mesh, yeah. Then extrude like that. Okay, what are these additional letters? Okay, you're saying Boolean, so Boolean, Booleans difference. Why is this not working? Oh, like that. Yeah, I think that's okay. One other thing we could do is give this a different material. I think I'll just use the dark material, this, whatever this material was. Or I can just give this a different wood material. Just change this to, get rid of these, change this to object box. Just give it a different wood material, and hopefully that wood material would be, doesn't seem to work as I expected. If we apply this, I wanted that wood material to be applied to the inside like that. Oh, no. Oh, let me just select that and give it the wooden material that I want. Object, box, and these should have the original material. Yeah, so that the inside can be visible, and I don't know. Yeah, let's add a heart, like a like heart. So a heart, we just need a circle. We just need a curve circle. Select this bottom, turn it to a vector. Get this top, turn it to a vector. And I think we just bring this down, scale this up, and we have a heart. Look at that. But it also has to be wooden, so we're going to reduce the polygon count to something that makes it look like wood. Convert it to mesh, fill it in, give it the same material, unwrap, then extrude. Actually, I can even be a little bit extra with this. Just, I don't know, what is, just make a cut from this. Just be unnecessarily extra here. Just, why is this not cutting the way I want? Okay, then I can grab these merge by distance. Yeah, just make this wood. Very cool idea, thank you. Not sure why I have doubles here. And a heart. For the 74 likes and counting that you guys have given. Okay, where is my subscribe text? Okay. Here. Oh, and this. Actually, this can, yeah. And this heart, we can make it painted red. Just give it like it's painted, hand painted red. So I'm going to create a mask out of this. Actually, I want the heart to have a separate material. Mix red with heat wood. With heat wood? I'm not sure I understand. Oh, with heart. Yeah, you always read my mind, man. Get out of my head. Kidding. Anyway, so to do that, we just need two colors. We need the mask. Then the wood texture and red. like that. Yeah, and can grab this side here, rotate. Subscribe what? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Add name of the channel. We can do that. So text tube top channel one-on-one. And we can also have the same material. I need a way to have it. I need it to be hung on something. Maybe we can have it up here. I don't know. Do it light. Do it light. Subscribe pointing, but pointing left beneath it. Do it light. Subscribe, but pointing. I don't follow what you mean. Do it like, or like have it as a boolean. So maybe we can We can have another board. Okay, let's see. So you mean so we need to convert this to a mesh. Then just do another boolean first, like that. The channel name is quite long. Let's apply the boolean, remove this, and I think I can add some extra cuts here to make it look like actual wood. So I can grab these, just Can I make you logo for your channel? Oh, that would be amazing, man. I suck at logos, so if that would be perfect. I'm getting really sleepy. I'll share on your Discord when I create something good. Thank you, man. Thank you. And for your generosity, let's... How do they call it? Cremate? Not cremate. That's... let's say Kapil was here. Not was her, was here. As a token of appreciation, it's not cremating, it's yeah, what's the word? Cremating is just burning you while you're dead, I think. Let's add a boolean cut again and just select this. Yeah, a very loyal friend. Uncle, you bro, I don't deserve that. No, you do deserve that. Engrave It's not the word I'm looking for. Engrave is the act of just doing that, but there is a term I'm forgetting. I think this is going to show very well in the high resolution. It will be visible, I think. But just make sure that it is actually visible. I'm going to add a light. There's no point in adding this much detail and not showing it. Let's try 100. But we don't want it to be too powerful to show that we added some fake light. Creating a very big highlight here. Thank you, Nilan Studio. Thank you, Exom Bob. Thank you guys. Get some wires. Declaration? No, that's still not the word. Like turning someone into a monument. It's, you know what? Burning Bright also had a lot of ideas that we added in here. So let's see, let me grab this. Should be let's do Burning Bright. If I add was here, it will just be a bit too difficult to read. And Exom Bob was also here in the beginning, so Exom Bob. Yeah, commemorate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, commemorate is the word I was looking for. Thank you. And because Nilan Studio was also here, let's commemorate him as well. Nilan Studios. But Nilan Studios is not always here that much, so we'll commemorate him in smaller text there. Let me grab these, convert to mesh, join, extrude. Yeah. You know, let me see how this looks at this. close up here. I want our hard work to be seen, so let's add a I'm also going to grab some stones, rocks. Hello, Ahmed Creations. How are you? Let me grab some rocks like this, just because I'm seeing we don't have enough detail here. Just could use the quick scatter add-on for this part. Let me actually do that because should make the process much easier. So let me add quick scatter here. You add this. I want rotation. Okay. Just want some rocks around. Let's also have some really small rocks. That's a handy add-on. Yeah, it's my quick scatter add-on. Yeah, I usually make these add-ons to just help me out in some stuff, and sometimes I really find them very useful. So especially for something like this, I can just click. I want some larger rocks. It randomizes the scale and rotation if you want. Now we can add some really smaller, randomize some really smaller rocks in here. Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to give this a render and see you the next day, tomorrow. I don't know when I'll be. But yeah, thank you. Let me see. Do I have some branch? I still see a lot of things I could add in here. Branch, like a broken tree. Don't want to add in any modern stuff. Yeah, have a branch here. I think it's a mix some more asset. Good work. Thank you, Ratsel Pub. Thank you. Sorry if I butchered your name. Need to remove some of. Yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it for showing. Thank you, Kapil. Thank you, Axom. Thank you, Burning Bright. You really made this really amazing. I always show up. Thank you. Okay, like I said, I'm going to give this a render and see you tomorrow. Have a safe good night. Thank you, Ratsel Bob, for closing the chat.